Good morning, friends. I'm Jayaprakash Mittal. I will discuss with you chapter number 3 Statistics, class 11th. In the last video, we discussed about collection of data. Now we'll do next topic census and sample methods of collection of data. Here you will see, first of all, we'll discuss the concept population that is very used in statistics, in specifically in sampling when collecting the data. Population means what? In day to day life means population means when we count people only we collect. But here the mean in statistics, population or universe refers to an aggregate of items to be studied for an investigation, or means inclusion of all the items in the field of statistical inquiry. When we collect data, if we are collecting all the items, that is called basically a population which we are going to study, which we are studying for an investigation. So that is called population. Population means an aggregate of items to be studied for investigation. Now there are two methods. One is census, the second one is called sample. We'll study first census survey. In this method, every element of population is included in the investigation. Suppose we call about population census, we are collecting data for every family, for every person. So that is called population census. This is table 4. Small size of population generally, widely diverse items in the population when there is diversity in the items. Then requirement of intensive examination of different items you want to study in detail, in depth. Then high degree of accuracy and reliability is required. Then we go for census survey. Now if one will say that population of India is not so small, that we go for census. So we are collecting data for every 10 years, not every year. That is costlier. That's why we collect data on after 10 years, not every year, because that will be too much costlier and that requires a lot of time and money also. What are the merits of this data? Reliable and accurate. Naturally, every item is to be studied. Less biased, because we take the data for on individual basis. Extensive information, wide range we cover, and study of diverse characteristics. Not only one or two. In case of sample we can do that, but in case of census we take diversity. We to cover diversity we conduct census survey. But what are the demerits of this? This is naturally very costlier because it consumes a lot of time and money. Manpower is required, larger manpower, and not stable for large investigation. Suppose one individual agency is going to conduct this survey, that will be too costly, so they avoid it. So when individual researcher is going to collect data for population, they collect data which is collected already by government as a secondary data or state government by. So that's why all the companies, all the researchers, all the agencies collect data from, they take data from government census only. They don't conduct themselves because that will be too costly and time taking process. Now sample survey. Sample survey means we can understand from the word only sample itself. In this method, a group of units representing all the units of the population is investigated. How do we use it? Suppose if we want to know how much we are cooking rice and we want to know how much rice is cooked, we will not eat and every, will not check in every piece of rice. What we do, we take one or two, we take some teaspoon suppose rice and we check them only. Doesn't mean that we are taking so much rice, because sample is sufficient. If you want to know how much syllabus has been done in class, we will not ask every student, we will ask only one or two students to check as a sample that how much has been done. So that's why we call it a sample survey. What are the merits? This is economical, naturally, because We need not to study all the items of the investigation. Time saving also, large investigation because we can conduct on a mass level through sample, and this is good for administrative convenience. But what are the demerits? This may be partial. If we are taking data, we are collecting data, means in sample form. If sample is not correct, then the whole investigation may be incorrect. That may be partial. Wrong conclusion may drawn if sample is not selected properly. And difficulty in selecting representative sample, this may be a question: which kind of sample we should collect and what kind of method we should adopt for collecting sample. Now, methods of sampling, that may be simple or unrestricted random sampling. The second one is restricted random sampling, then stratified and systematic. There are two, one of restricted random sampling, stratified and systematic. Now, what is random sampling? A random sampling means we are taking randomly. We suppose we want to know, what I quote an example. I want to know the syllabus, how much syllabus has been done in economics in class 11th. I ask randomly any student how much syllabus has been done. He or she tells. That is what a randomly. We are not specifying any particular student. That is called random. Random sampling is that method of sampling in which each and every item of the universe has equal chance of being selected in the sample. Means so many items are there, any item can be selected, so each and every item has the same, each and every item has same chance to be selected. It is used when items are homogeneous. The selection is, we were discussing, it is used when items are homogeneous. The selection is left entirely to the chance factor. Here we don't select any particular sample. What we do, we take randomly any data, we select any randomly sample, and it depends upon the chance only. Suppose lottery system. In this system, what we do, paper slips are made for each item of the universe. These slips are shuffled in box. Then impartially, some of the slips are drawn to form samples of the universe. Suppose what we do, there are 5 or 6 students are playing, and who will do the first duty. Then what we do, we make 5-6 slips and we shuffle them in a box, and everyone draws, and we check it, is it what we were playing in the childhood, like who will be the king, who will be the minister, who will be the thief, and who will be the police. What we do, on sample basis we take it. We never say this guy will be every time thief or king or like that. This is what lottery system. Or we also see different lotteries are conducted, and generally we take any randomly sleeps. So we draw randomly any sleep and we check it, and that depends upon the luck, or we call it in layman language chance. Tables of random numbers also there. Some statisticians have prepared a set of table called tables of random numbers. A simple sample is framed with reference to these tables, which is mostly we use tape table. Then what are the merits of this one? This method is impartial because we are this based on totally on chance. Economical also, not taking time. This is very simple method. What are the demerits? This method doesn't guarantee proportional representation of different items in the universe. Suppose there are hundreds of people are there to be studied. So we are taking only 5 slips. So what does it mean? Every representation, proportional representation is not possible there. Then random sampling doesn't give weightage to certain important items to in the universe. Means we are not going to weightage to any certain item. We are treating each and every item equally on the basis of sample. Then what is non-random? Naturally, by name we can understand this is not on random basis. Here specific things are mentioned. Judgment or purposive sampling. Purposive sampling is that sample in which the investigator himself makes the choice of the sample items which in his opinion are the best representative of the universe. Here you we can understand, here it depends totally on the investigator. In random, that doesn't depend upon the investigator, that bases on chance. But in non-random, in purposive, it depends on the totally on investigator which item he selects for the sample. Merits, this is flexible and simple. Selection of items can be deliberately tuned to the purpose of study because it depends upon the investigator which kind of data he or she wants to collect, and the basis of that can collect that sample. Demerits, there is a possibility of personal bias in this selection. We easily can understand when it depends totally on the investigator which he selects the sample. Naturally he may be personal biased, but we'll have to trust the investigator only. Results may become doubtful also, because if there is a partial there, always results become doubtful. Then quota sampling. Quota sampling, in this method the population is divided into different groups or classes. We fix a quota for every representing class according to different characteristics of the population. Here what we do is we take a particular quota for every representing class, and on the basis of that we select sample. Convenience sampling. In this method, sampling is done by the investigator in such a manner that suits his convenience. Naturally, totally depends upon investigator again. And census survey. Census survey we are discussing, we have already discussed. Just here we'll make the comparison between the two. We are going to distinguish between two. Census means we are including every item, and sample we are taking some few units representing all the units. Let's discuss the comparison distinguish. Census, a systematic method that collects and records the data about methods of the population, is called census. Those students who have missed the first part, naturally they should watch video from the beginning. But here you can conclude what we have done in the last part. And in sampling refers to a portion of the population selected to represent the entire group in all its characteristics. What's the basic difference, guys? Census, all items are considered. In sampling, only few items from the all items are considered. Then enumeration, here we are in complete. Here it may be naturally partial. Sample partial means what, we are taking only few samples, few items only. Then study, here we study each and every unit of population, only a handful of units of the population under sample survey. Time required in census, naturally time consuming process, that is a fast process in sample. Any process which is time consuming, actually that is expensive also. So census math survey is expensive, and sample survey is economical. And census is reliable and more accurate, where this is sample is less reliable and accurate, because reason being that is sometimes depends upon the investigator. Error not present, here depends upon the size of population. Error may be not partiality. Here the question is that here we are collecting in census survey every item, there we are collecting only handful items. Maybe that sample what we collected, that is not going to represent the whole class, so there may be error possibility. Appropriate for population of heterogeneous nature. Naturally, when we have diversity in the items, we should go for census, and when we have the homogeneity of items, homogeneous items are there, then we should go for sample, because there is no much difference. Either we go for sample because that can represent the whole class. So in population census, every person has its own qualities, different income groups, different languages, different castes, creeds, and also government go for census, not on the basis of sample we can collect data for the whole country in case of population. So every 10 year, a government collects NSSO, National Sample Survey Organization, collects data for population census. Now, Census of India and National Sample Survey Organization. The Census of India provides the complete and continuous demographic record of population. The National Sample Survey Organization was established by the Government of India under the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. MOSPI, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Students, it can be asked for 1 mark. Please so go through the full form. Came into existence as an independent ministry on 15th October 1999. At that time, the government was under Atal Bihari Vajpayee leadership. After the merger of the Department of Statistics and the Department of Program Implementation to conduct a national-wide survey on socio-economic issues like employment, literacy, maternity, child care, utilization of public distribution system, etc. Data collected by NSSO survey are released through the reports and its quarterly journal Sarvekshana. Example: size, growth rate, distribution of population, densities, population projections, sex composition, literacy. These data are used by Government of India for planning purpose and other institutes for their research that is taken from the sites. You can check the sites MOPSI. There you will find the details of on different data for further inquiries. So guys, this was our third chapter of statistics. So here you will go through the chapter and always read the things in detail and take the help of videos and do study regularly. Thank you guys.